Hello dear students of class 12, today I am going to teach you the proposal, which is the last chapter of the book, which is written by Anton Pavlovich Chekhov, okay? And this is a drama, and one act play, and is the last chapter, okay? So far we have done 4 prose, okay? And this is one is the 5th and the last. So you should understand it properly, and at home also you have text, you can go through it properly. It's very interesting drama, okay? There are only 3 characters, one side Lomov, Chubukov, and another person is Stepan. So there are only 3 characters, okay? So we will do that. The proposal written by Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. Here is the picture, like he's just like a rock star, Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. In Nepali also you've been doing, in Nepali syllabus class 12, there's one story called Gorkha, okay, in Nepali. So he has written that. Anton Pavlovich Chekhov has written so many short stories and things, which is from Russia, which is very famous throughout the world, okay? 1860, 1904. Let me just read out some short biography of Anton Chekhov, but I don't think I need to read out and explain you all the literary biography of Anton Chekhov, because you can go through in Nepali also, as I told you, Gorkha, okay, in Nepali. So there's a very interesting story, the Gorkha who writes letters to his father, but after all, it was his dream, okay? It was her dream, I don't know, okay? So that is not the story here. Proposal is different, okay? Proposal is different. So Anton Chekhov was a Russian physician first, okay? Physician first, author and playwright. He is considered to be among the greatest writers of short story in history. In history, if we really look into the matter of the history, we can see in the Russia, then he was found to be a physician first, okay? He did medical course at that time. He became physician at the same time, author also. And he is a good and writer and famous among the all history, if we really go through it. He was born on January 29, 1860 in Taganrog, Russia, and he died on July 15, 1904 in Badenweiler in Germany. So different places, okay? He was born in Russia and he died in Germany, okay? Anton Pavlovich Chekhov is well known for his plays and short stories. He gave his readers insight into the lives of men and women of his time. Sometimes he laughed at their ways, but the laughter was always warm and gentle and never meant to hurt, even as it made its point through gentle satire. Okay, he has mostly used satire. Sometimes he has written short stories, drama, which is very full of laughter, very ridiculous type, very hilarious type. Okay, he has written so many things. So he has won the hearts of most of the readers. So what his insight into that particular articles, that particular his work is that he wanted to just represent what was happening in the society or in the realistic world that he wanted to represent through his literary work. Okay, and he presented a realistic world in which he studies people's lives, in particular the motives and the reasoning that were never out in the open, but always played just below the surface. He allowed the readers to sense the mood and little everyday details and whimsical patterns. He has, studied the inside things. He studies the lives of the people, or particularly or in generally, the motives of the people, okay, and the reasoning which are really not open, which is folded, okay, that he wants to just take out and represent, and he wants to show in the society, okay. So he allowed the readers to sense the mood in the little everyday detail. He allowed the readers to come in the sense and the mood to understand what his literary work really is. So dear students, I just want to give you some short summary type or short information about the proposal. Let me just read out. I am just behind the screen now. The proposal is one act play. It was originally written in Russian. It was first performed in 1890. The play uses fast to laugh at society that believed marriage would bring about economic stability. Nothing else mattered, not personal desire, likes or dislikes. The play has three characters. Lomov is in his mid-30s. He can work himself into extreme states of anxiety. Chubukov is in his 70s and worries about his wealth and his daughter. Natalia is 25, spirited, proud and stubborn. The play is set in the rural countryside of Russia. Now, it is a short information that was of the proposal drama, which was written in 1890, and what he has used here is a ridiculous and hilarious thing that he wants to make the people, a reader, laugh after reading the proposal, okay. And it is just a belief that marriage would bring economic stability. And most of the people, we all people actually think about this. The economic stability may come after the marriage life. And here some characters which are written with underline, later underline. These are the main characters in the proposal play. So the age of Lomov has been mentioned here, mid-30s. He must be of 35 years. And Chubukov is also there. He is 70, must be 75 years, and Natalia is 25. So Chubukov's daughter is Natalia, and Lomov is another neighbor of Chubukov and Natalia. The name is very unusual because Russian pronunciation and names are quite different than Indians and other English. That's why it was written in Russia, actually Russian language. So it was first written in Russian language. The name of this actually proposal was in Russian language, Pridelojony actually. That's why the name and the characters which are in the play is quite different. Anton Chekhov himself has a difficult name, Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. So in the whole drama you will find such difficulties name here, okay. So the scene of the drama is rural countryside. Rural, let me tell you, rural, R-U-R-A-L. People say is rural, but this is rural, okay. Village life, countryside of Russia. Characters, the same three characters are there, but their full names are written here. First one is Chubukov is known as, in full name, Stefan Stepanovich Chubukov. What he is landowner. And Natalia Stepanovna is his daughter, 25 years old. Ivan Vasilevich Lomov, a neighbor of Chubukov, a large and hearty but very suspicious landowner. Three characters are there. Setting, Chubukov's country house. Setting and scene is Chubukov's country house. Now the drama starts. Suppose, imagine in the theater, what would be the scene? There will be a drawing room, okay, in Chubukov's house with the landowner. And there is a drawing room. their Lomov. Okay, I'll tell you in a short, and it is also written in short. Lomov enters wearing a dress jacket and white gloves. Chubukov rises to meet him. This is first scene. Okay, Lomov comes here in the stage. Okay, wearing one jacket and white gloves, and Chubukov is also there, and they are just going to meet each other. Rises to meet him. Chubukov stands up. Okay, and Chubukov starts first dialogue. What is the first dialogue? My dear fellow, whom do I see? Ivan Vassilevich. I am extremely glad. By saying this, he is very surprised. He is saying in this lovely voice that, oh my friend, you have come here, oh, whom I see. I am very excited like that. Okay, Ivan Vassilevich, the full name of Lomov. And he says, I am very excited and glad. And by saying this, Chubukov is squeezing his hand, like shaking his hands also, because he is very surprised. Now he is again saying, now this is a surprise, my darling, how are you? In Russia, in Western countries, the people, men to men, also they say darling. In India, we call to only loved one only darling. But in their society, they say darling to other male person also, male friend also. So he's saying, my darling, how are you? Now Lomov says, thank you, and how may you be getting on? And Lomov also says, how are you and how is everything, like that. Chubukov says, we just get along somehow, my angel, to your prayers and so on. Sit down, please. Please do. Now you know, you shouldn't forget all about your neighbors, my darling. My dear fellow, why are you so formal in your get-up? Evening dress, gloves and so on. Can you be going anywhere, my treasure? Chubukov is being so humble. You remember this, okay? Chubukov is Natalya's father, and at Chubukov's house is the scene, okay? And Lomov is coming at his house actually. But if we imagine on the stage that Chubukov is on the stage and it is his home, okay? Now they are talking. Now Chubukov is very humble. If anyone comes as a guest at our home, we also become so humble. But he is more than humble, okay? Chubukov is. What he is saying is, to Lomov, he is saying like, you are my angel. Oh angel, with our prayers you are all right, and we have not forgotten. And we don't forget our neighbors also. And he is again appreciating and really saying like darling, okay? And he is saying my friend also. He is saying that he is appreciating, he is talking about dress also. Formal in your get-up. Get-up is dress, okay? Why are you so formal in your dress? Formal dress is very, formal type, is very not a casual type. So actually what Lomov was wearing, it is mentioned here by Chubukov. Actually Lomov was wearing evening dress, gloves and so, all these things, okay? He was wearing what? Gloves and dress. That means he was in unusual dress up, okay? That's why Chubukov was really exciting and asking question, and he is very curious to know why he was wearing dress and gloves. And he is again saying at the last word, my treasure. My treasure is a very high appreciating word to Lomov. Very admiring. And now Lomov's turn. Lomov says, what he says? No, I have come only to see you. Honored Stepanovich. Lomov is just saying, what is saying? I am just here to see you only. Honored, he is also appreciating. He is also, praising him. Like using word honored Stepanovich. Using full names, okay, of Chubukov. And then Chubukov says, then why are you in evening dress, my precious, as if you are paying a New Year's Eve visit? Chubukov is saying that if you have come just to meet me, then why are you in such a beautiful dress? This is very precious. And he is saying to Lomov that you are precious. Maybe he was looking so good, Lomov was looking so good. That's why Chubukov is really appreciating. And Chubukov is again saying that this is happening, you look like, you are paying you are attending a New Year's Eve. The New Year's Eve means 31st. 31st December is New Year's Eve. The day before the New Year is New Year's Eve. Because in most of the Western and Russian culture, they observe the last day of the year is very important day, New Year's Eve. That's why it's mentioned here. Okay, Chubukov is saying that. And Lomov's son, what Lomov says? Well, you see, it's like this. He says like this and takes his arms. Okay, I have come to you, Honor Stepanovich, to trouble you with the request. Not once or twice have I already had the privilege of applying to you for help, and you have always so to speak. I must ask your pardon. I am getting excited. I shall drink some water. Honor Stepanovich and drinks. Lomov is saying, and he is just trying to say something, and he is saying it's like that, and he is just taking his arms also, and he says, I have come here, Stepanovich, just to give you some problem or trouble or some kind of request. He is explaining in a slow manner that he is getting a privilege, applying for telling or requesting for that, but couldn't speak, so he did not have much time, or he was disturbed. He is saying like that. So he wanted to say or disclose the matter today. Okay. So before telling, Lomov is saying that he is asking forgiveness, or he is asking pardon to Chubukov, because Lomov himself is saying he is very exciting and he want to take some drink, because he is not, I think, confident. Okay, because it happens in our life also. If we before requesting some important thing, we will be really hesitating. Okay, we get hesitated, so we want to drink some water. So same thing happens here. Lomov is also asking for some water to drink. Okay, so he drinks. Now Chubukov says, Chubukov's in the mind. Okay, aside is in the mind. Aside means Chubukov is just thinking in his mind. Okay, not telling. Okay, he has come to borrow money. Shan't give him any. He is thinking in the mind. Okay, what he is thinking is, he must have come for the money to borrow from my pocket. He was thinking that I won't give this money to this man. Outside, Chubukov is very humble and meek and very loving, kind person. But inside, Chubukov is saying in his mind that Lomov has come to borrow money from him. So he decided not to give him the money if he asked. But Chubukov loudly says in outside, what is it, my beauty? Okay, very hypocrisy. Inside is very cruel. Like, I don't give him money. He must have come here for money. But outside he is saying like in a real flattering voice that what is it, my beauty? Chubukov is really using appreciating word, very adjectives words. Okay, using appreciating Lomov, and Lomov says, you see, Honor Stepanich, I beg pardon, Stepan Honorich, I mean, I am awfully excited. As you will please notice, in short, you alone can help me, though I don't deserve it, of course, and haven't any right to count on your assistance. Lomov is going in and round, okay, indirectly, he is just, just try to collect his guts, or try to, tell what he really wanted, but he is just stammering there, not be able to tell the correct thing, not be able to tell the what he has proposed. Okay, so he is saying that I beg your pardon always. So he is excited and so much things. Okay, so much things. So he is saying also that I don't deserve it for that. The request which I am requesting you, for that I will not be deserving for that. Maybe he is saying like that. Okay, and he says another, I won't be counted on your assistance. Lomov is now very humbling and putting himself down to earth. Okay, Chubukov's turn. Oh, don't go round and round it, darling. Speed out. Well, Chubukov is, eagerly waiting for what Lomov is going to say. Now Chubukov says, don't go indirect. Okay, come tell me directly. Speed out, speak up quickly. Well, Lomov says, one moment. He takes a moment, this very minute. The fact is, now he's just starting and opening and disclosing the matter. I have come to ask the hand of your daughter. Lastly, ultimately, finally, he is telling that, what is he telling? Lomov is telling that Lomov has come to ask the hand of the daughter of Chubukov, actually for the marriage. Natala step nopna in marriage. Okay, now this is called proposal. Okay, this is what the title is there. Okay, title, the proposal means that. I did not explain you before teaching you this proposal, but the proposal is itself fulfilled. This meaning is itself fulfilled that Lomov has a desire to get married with Natalya, and he has come to Chubukov's house, Natalya's house, and he meets Chubukov, Natalya's father, and he is requesting a prayer for the marriage. Okay, that prayer, that request is called the proposal, as you everybody know that. Chubukov, what he says now, he is very happy, joyfully, by Jove, very happily. Even Vasilievich, say it again, I didn't hear it all. Chubukov must be very exciting, that's why he wanted to hear it once again, because he may have not believed on that word, that what Lomov has said. Lomov says, I have the honor to ask. He is repeating, he just stammering to tell the sentence, because it's very daring sentence to propose, to request someone fathers whose daughter is going to get married. Okay, Chubukov in between says, interrupting Lomov, what he says, my dear fellow, I am so glad, so on. Yes, indeed, and all that sort of thing. Chubukov is saying that he was as if he was waiting for that, and he says that he is very happy for that. No any reaction, like no any negative reaction. So Lomov got the green signal. Then what Chubukov actually did? Chubukov embraces Lomov and kissed him. Okay. Now Chubukov embraced, hugged and kissed Lomov. Okay. I have been hoping for it for a long time. It's been my continual desire. Now he is shedding tears. Now firstly he was very happy, exciting, and in the second verse, second sentence, he is shedding the tears, because what he is saying, he was hoping, he was expecting someday Lomov will come and ask the hand of his daughter one day. That he was just hoping that, but that day never came. But today, when this days came and he really witnessed this, then he is shedding the tears. Okay, and I have always loved you, my angel, as if you were my son. May God give you both his help and his love and so on. And I read so much hope. What am I behaving in this idiotic way? For I am off the balance with joy, absolutely off my balance. Oh, with all my soul, I will go and call Natasha and all that. Chubukov is saying that he is quite happy, and the day before, for a long time he was waiting and expecting the thing that is really come as a true. So he is very exciting. And he is thanking God also, and he is disbalancing himself, that he is off. He says that with the joy. Okay, so he is very excited. He is very he was trying to call Natasha also, his daughter also, and he said that I will go and call my daughter. Lomov says, and Lomov was greatly moved then he has requested, and in one shot that requested was recommended, that means it was agreed. Then Lomov was greatly moved. On her step and stone of his, do you think I may count on her consent? And he is also still now down to earth, that he is saying, I may count on her consent. may she give permission to get married, she will give permission. And this is Lomop's thinking, okay. So Lomop thinks that he is not deserving guy to get married with Natalya. So he is asking, he is talking about the concern that maybe or may not be permission by Natalya. Now Chubukov, father says, why of course my darling, and as if she won't consent. She is in love, gay, she is like a lovesick cat. She is what? In love, and she is egad. Egad is written as Old English, okay. What does it, okay, old fashioned expression of surprise is, she is in love. She is very surprised. She is like a lovesick cat. Lovesick cat means, you can, if you have got a textbook, you can see the meaning down there. You can tell that she is very much in love and therefore does not act normally. Lovesick is that kind of craziness for the love. That means someone, a girl who is waiting for the, waiting for the marriage, waiting for someone who will get married to her. That is called lovesick cat. So Chubukov himself says that his daughter is like a lovesick cat, and he is very exciting to get married, and it will be not so long also. If Chubukov says, and she will give permission, it means to say that. Lomov says, Chubukov exit, then Lomov says, it's cold, I am trembling all over, just as if I had got an examination before me. The great thing is, I must have mind and made up. If I give myself time to think, to hesitate, to talk a lot, to look for an ideal or for real love, then I will never get married. It's cold. Natalya Stabnor is an excellent housekeeper, not bad looking, well educated. What more do I want? But I am getting a noise in my ears from excitement. He drinks now, and it's impossible for critical age, so to speak. In the second place, I ought to lead a quiet and regular life. I suffer from palpitation. I am excitable and always getting awful upset. Now he is telling himself, maybe feeling so cold, and he is trembling, shivering there. Why? Because he is just going to face the examination, because Natalya will come and talk with her about the marriage, okay, what he had really made up his mind himself to get married with Natalya. And he is thinking that Natalya is not so bad looking. That means Natalya was not so very, but Natalya was average good looking girl, and she was well educated. This is a description of Natalya, and she keeps the house. She is a good housekeeper. Excellent housekeeper. So he is thinking is all these things in the mind. He is talking to himself. Okay, so he thinking about the future also. So having thought all these things in the mind, he is really palpitating also. Heart was beating repeatedly. At this very moment, my leaves are trembling. His leaves are trembling also, and there is a twitch in my right eyebrow. He says that twitch. Okay, twitch also. The meaning of twitch is also given there. You can see. Okay, and in my right eyebrow. But the very worst of all is the way I sleep. I no sooner get into the bed and begin to go off when suddenly something in my left side gives a pull, and I can feel it in my shoulder and head. I jump up like a lunatic, walk about, beat, and lie down again. But as soon as I begin to get up to sleep, there's another pull. And this may happen 20 times. This is his feelings and thinking about what's going to be happening, or what's going to happen in the future and after getting married. So there may be different kind of story. Life going to be changing. So this all behaviors will be like that. Okay, the things which are mentioned here regarding the behavior of Lomov, that all are fictitious, which are written here just above, which I have just written. Natalya now comes in there, because still Lomov is at Chubukov's, Natalya's house, maybe in the sitting room, Okay. Now Chubukov call his daughter Natalya Stepnovna. Then she comes there on the stage at home. Natalya Stepnovna. She says, what she says now? Let's see. Well, there is you. And Papa said, go, there's a merchant come for his goods. How do you do? Ivan Vasilyevich. Natalia knows Lomov, okay, already. That's what he's saying. How do you do? Okay. And then it was Papa's information to Natalia that he did not tell her directly, but he told her that there's a merchant had come for some goods, some products. So you have to meet him. That's why Natalia had come to meet Lomov. Now Lomov says, how do you do? Honor Natalia Stepnovna. How do you do is the sentence to, greeting the people. When one says, how do you do, and another also have to say, how do you do? How do you do has no any sense of like asking some question and how are you or how you doing. Okay. If one says, how do you do, and another also have to say, how do you do? So in English, we can use this like this. How do you do does not mean someone is asking question how he is doing or how are you. How do you do has no meaning actually. Just when people meet together, they says from both sides, how do you do, and other also says, how do you do. Okay. So don't think that is Natalia is asking to Lomov how he is doing, and don't think Lomov is also asking Natalia how she was doing. So Natalia Stepnovna says now, the real dialogue is this: you must excuse my apron and negligee with shelling peas for drying. Why haven't you been here for such a long time? Sit down. They sit themselves. Won't you have some lunch? Natalia says that he was asking for the excuse that she was wearing negligee, very loose gown, loose cloth. Natalia was wearing loose clothes, that's why she is asking for that excuse. And what she was doing there, she was peeling up the peas jacket, okay, shelling peas is for the drying. So she says that, and she thinks that Lomov already had come there and sitting there. So they themselves, both of them sit together there, and Natalia is asking for the lunch. Lomov says, no thank you, I have had already. Lomov doesn't want to eat. He says that he had already eaten. Natalia Stepnovna says that then smoke, here are the matches, the weather is splendid. Now, but yesterday it was so wet that the workmen didn't do anything all day. How much hay have you stacked? Now this is normal, conversation between Natalia and Lomov. That's saying, asking for the smoke. Then other is saying that weather was is splendid, very nice, was very nice yesterday, but so wet also. Workmen in her field did not do anything there. That hay means the straw of the paddy. The have you stacked and gathered? Just think, I felt greedy and have had a whole field cut, and now I am afraid my hay may not rot. I ought to have waited a bit, but what's this? Why you are in evening dress? Natalia was explaining first, it is a rural life. That's why Natalia is just saying about the field and crops and all. Okay, hay and straw of the field, and whether she is very worrying about this, whether that hay may get wasted or not. Then again comes to the point that she also noticed that Lomov was wearing evening dress. Then she says, why you are in the evening dress? Well, I never see. That means, are you going to a ball or a what? Though I must say you look better. Tell me, why are you got up like that? And he was asking a question that because Lomov was wearing and his get-up was quite different. than the others. Then that gloves and that dress was really noticeable. That's why Nathala also asking for that. Are you going to some party or somewhere with that dress, or where are you going? She really wanted to know about the dress. Lomov excited and excitingly he says, "You see, honor Nathalya step nopna. The fact is, I have made up my mind to ask you to hear me out. Of course, he will be surprised and perhaps even angry, but aside, he is thinking in mind, it's awfully cold." Lomov is now ready to tell what is in his mind. What was in his mind? In his mind was that Lomov wanted to get married Nathalya, but he couldn't disclose it to Nathalya. He disclosed only Nathalya's father. Now he is going to say, he is saying that the fact is that you will really surprise or you will get angry. Now Lomov is saying that, and in the mind he is saying it is very cold. How to tell? It is very dangerously cold. Now Lomov is like freezing. Nathalya says, "What's the matter?" And she is paused, and well, Nathalya wanted to know the matter. Lomov now tells, "I shall try to be brief." Now Lomov is ready to tell what is in his mind. Okay. Now he is telling, he is going to be in brief. "You must know, honor Nathalya Stepnovna." Now he is starting. Okay, that I have long since my childhood, in fact, had the privilege of knowing your family. Now Lomov is starting from the family. That they have been each other very familiar since long time, since childhood, and having thought that this was his privilege of knowing the family of Nathalya and Chebukov. And he is saying, "My late aunt and her husband, from whom, as you know, I inherited my land, always had the greatest respect for your father and your late mother." Now he is now slowly talking about another thing. What is my late? He is talking about his land, late aunt and her husband, from whom Lomov has taken some land. It was inherited, given to Lomov. That land, particular land. Keep in mind, land. You can underline in the text. Okay, dear students, land. Land is the matter. Okay, land is the matter of the thing in the first. In this context now, always had the greatest respect for your father and your late mother. What Lomov is saying is, my aunt and husband, he wanted to introduce late aunt and husband, who really had respect for Nathalya's father and mother. Okay, matter is that. Lomov is saying, means to say that. But the things turns to be different now. The Lomovs, now still Lomov is saying, the Lomovs and the Chebukovs have always had the most friendly, and I might almost say the most affectionate regard for each other. And as you know, my land is a near neighbor of yours. Now Lomov is saying the Lomov's family and Chebukov's families, they have always a friendly relation. And it was affectionate and respectful to each other. And he is again adding something, as you know, my land is the matter, okay, as I have told you, underline this, is near neighbor of yours. You will remember that my auction meadows touch your birchwoods. Now he is telling that auction meadows, he has talked about auction meadows. What is that? Auction meadows. Now Lomov is saying that you know that land is near neighbors of your house, and you remember, you know that auction meadows is the land full of, meadows, full of grass, little grass, okay, very greenery, the pasture, we can call it another pasture, okay, pasture. So that is touching the birchwoods. Natal Estopnovna says, excuse my interpreting you say my auction meadows. Now this is the matter of dispute, okay, my auction meadows is underlined there, but are they yours? Lomov says, yes, mine. Natal Estopnovna, what are you talking about? Auction meadows are ours, not yours. Lomov says, no, mine, honor Natal Estopnovna. Natal Estopnovna says, well, I never knew that before. How do you make that out? Now, the matter of dispute, the matter of quarrel, here it starts is that auction meadows. What is auction meadows? Auction meadows, I have told you, pasture or a green pasture, a very nice ground, okay, which is full of green pasture, that is auction meadows, okay, which is land, okay. So, this is the dispute matter, okay, this is the matter of the land. So, Natale says this is mine, Lomov says this is mine. Lomov says for a long time this is his property, and Natale says that it is her property. Then Natale at last says, Stopnovna say, well, I never knew that before. How do you make that? Because Natale never knew, because Natale is 25 years old and Lomov is 35 years old. That's a difference between the age. That's why Natale never knew it that land belongs to that Lomov, that auction meadows belong to Lomov. Lomov says, how? I am speaking of those auction meadows which are wedged between your birchwoods and Bonmas. Now, Lomov is, particularly saying what was that, which land or which auction meadows he is talking about. And he was talking about that auction meadows which were wedged. Wedged means, which is in between, like sandwich, okay. This is in the, maybe in the border area, between your birchwoods and the Bonmas, between that places, birchwoods and Bonmas, okay. Natale Stopnovna say, yes, they are ours. Now, stubborn and repeatedly Natalia says, this is mine, this is ours. Lomov says, no, you are mistaken, honor Natalia Stopnovna, they are mine. Again Natalia says, just think, even Basilvis, how long have they been yours? For how many long time? Let me know that it is yours. Lomov says, how long? As long as I can remember. And Lomov is saying, so far, till he was 35, then he says, as long as I can remember, this is our land, this is our auction meadows. Now again Natalia says, really you won't get me to believe that. Natalia doesn't believe that it is Lomov's property. So Natalia stubborn and repeatedly saying this is ours. Lomov again says, but you can see from the document, honor Natalia Stopnovna, document is there that says that this is Lomov's property. Auction meadows is true were once subject of dispute, but now everybody knows that they are mine. Lomov said that auction meadows was the matter of quarrel, matter of dispute, of problem. Once it used to be in past time, previous time, but nowadays everyone in the village, they know that this auction meadows belongs to Lomov. That's what Lomov is saying. There is nothing to argue about. There is no more thing to talk about. You see, my aunt's grandmother gave the free use of these meadows in perpetuity forever, for a long time, to the peasants, to the farmers of your father's grandfather, in return for which they were to make bricks for her. Now this is the matter that was handed to Natalia's family. Okay, what was that? My aunt's grandmother, whose aunt's grandmother? Lomov's aunt's grandmother gave free use of these meadows, auction meadows, for forever, to the peasants. To whom? to pigeons. Whose pigeons? Of your father's grandfathers. Whose grandfathers? Nathala's grandfathers. In return for they which were to make bricks for off. In which in return the pigeons or Nathala's grandfather had to make bricks. Bricks, you know bricks? That they had to made that bricks, so many bricks for Lomob's aunt's grandfather. The pigeons belonging to your the pigeons belonging to your father's grandfather had the free use of meadows. That's why the pigeons, the farmer which belonged to Nathala's father's grandfather, was for free. They used to use that meadows for free. For how long? Years? 40 years. And had got into habit of regarding them as their own. And this because of long time, 40 years, that they had got the habit of regarding or assuming that that land is there. When it happened that's why it has happened. That's why Nathalya and Nathalya's family is telling and proclaiming that auction meadows belongs to Nathalya's family. Now Nathalya again says, no, it is not all that. Both my grandfather and great grandfather reckoned that their land extended to Burnmas. What Nathalya is saying, grandfather and great grandfather, that land was established and extended to Burnmas, which means that auction meadows were ours. That means it was already established, already fixed by the grandfathers that auction meadows are Nathalya's property. I don't see what there is to argue about. It's simply silly. Now Nathalya is just thinking and saying, his words are useless to argue, talk about these auction meadows. It's very simply silly. Lomob says, I will show you the document. Nathalya stepped up. Now Lomob is ready to show the document to Nathalya about that auction meadows. That is land. Don't be confused with auction meadows. That is land, a very nice land. Nathalya says, no, you are simply joking or making fun of me. What a surprise. We have had the land for nearly 300 years, and then we were suddenly told that it isn't ours. Even Vasselvis, I can hardly believe my own ears. These meadows are not worth much to me. They only come to 5 dissetians and are worth perhaps 300 rubles. But I cannot understand unfairness. Say what you will, but I cannot stand unfairness. Now Nathalya is saying at the end that someone possessing this land and thinking this land, having this land for nearly 300 years, and at the end someone comes and he says that belongs to him. This is very ridiculous. This is very fun. Nathalya thinks that this is all what Lomob is doing, simply joking. So she is explaining that he cannot believe his ears also. Now he is just Nathalya is just explaining, evaluating the worth of land also. This is the measurement of the land, like that was worth of 300 rubles. That she doesn't want to be unfair on this matter. So that's why she doesn't want to stand for the unfairness. So she wants what she has understood about the land, and she just says that the land belongs to, that auction meadows land belongs to Nathalya's property. So we have done till here. So we will do in the next class also. This is continued to be in the next class, because this this one act play is little bit long. So we will do in the next class.